Genesis chapter 21 takes us to a pivotal moment in the lives of Abraham and Sarah, when finally, after years of waiting, God fulfills his promise to give them a son. Isaac is born, bringing joy and laughter to Abraham's household. But along with this blessing comes family conflict when Ishmael, Abraham's son with Hagar, begins to be seen as a threat. Sarah, fearing for Isaac's inheritance, asks Abraham to banish Hagar and her son, and God confirms this decision, assuring Abraham that he will take care of Ishmael. In the desert, Hagar and Ishmael nearly die of thirst, but God intervenes, showing them a well of water, and promises that Ishmael too will become a great nation. The birth of Isaac was not only a miracle, but the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abraham. The arrival of Isaac symbolized the beginning of the fulfillment of God's promises, marking the continuation of the lineage that would lead to the formation of the people of Israel. However, this blessing brought to the surface human and emotional tensions within Abraham's own family. The rivalry between Sarah and Hagar, and between Isaac and Ishmael, not only reflects personal issues, but also anticipates future conflicts between their respective descendants. This episode makes us reflect on how God's promises often come to pass in the midst of challenges and difficult decisions. Historically, the setting of Genesis 21 takes place in a typical setting of the ancient Near East, a region made up of nomadic tribes who moved across vast desert areas. Families depended heavily on wells of water, such as the one God provided for Hagar in the desert. These wells were often the source of disputes between tribes, which we see reflected in the biblical narrative when Abraham makes a pact with Abimelech to ensure the peaceful use of a well. The cities and kingdoms of the time, such as Gerar, where Abraham lived for a time, had a culture based on agriculture, herding, and trade, reflecting a lifestyle that revolved around survival in harsh environments. Biblical scholars have often focused on the theological and moral significance of Genesis 21. There is an emphasis on God's sovereignty over the destiny of nations and on the complex human relationships within the divine plan. The dynamic between Isaac and Ishmael is interpreted as a prefiguration of the tensions between Israel and the Arab nations. In addition, the account of Hagar in the wilderness is seen as a testament to God's grace and compassion, even for those outside the covenant line. This chapter also raises questions about justice, suffering, and God's provision in times of need. Archaeological finds, such as inscriptions and ancient structures, help to contextualize the account of Abraham and his descendants. One of the most studied sites in relation to this story is Beersheba, where Abraham is said to have made a covenant with Abimelech. Excavations in this area have revealed ancient wells, fortifications, and evidence of human settlements dating back to the Bronze Age, corroborating the biblical narrative. In addition, discoveries of cuneiform tablets and seals reveal diplomatic agreements similar to the pact between Abraham and Abimelech, suggesting that interactions between tribes and kingdoms were common in the region. Just as Abraham faced familial and political challenges, we too live in a world filled with social, political, and religious tensions. The struggle for territory and resources, seen in the conflicts over wells in chapter 21, is a reality that persists to this day, especially in the Middle East. Questions of heritage, cultural identity, and survival continue to shape relationships between peoples and nations. By looking to the past, we find parallels that help us better understand current dynamics and the importance of seeking peaceful solutions to the challenges we face, trusting, like Abraham, in divine provision in times of crisis. As in Genesis chapter 21, where Abraham faces family tensions and disputes over territories, today we also witness the persistent struggle for land and survival in the Middle East, especially in the conflict in Israel, reflecting how the challenges of the past still resonate in our days. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And remember, each day is a new opportunity to call on the name of the Lord. Until next time.